Okay, here we go. So I was thinking about starting in my new classes. I'll start new classes in about another month. And what I do is I have my students make a sign with their name on it, and I have them kind of decorate it. And my feeling is that it makes them feel uh, like a human, right? It they're going from possibly their small town to a big university, and they might feel like a number. And I was thinking, I don't want my students to feel like a number, so I try to remember their names and stuff like that. Because they've gone, you know, to a place where probably a lot of the teachers know their names and they're special, and they feel like a human. All their friends know them, and then they move far away and they're treated kind of you know like they're insignificant, and they feel insignificant because there's you know so many people saying, okay, get in line, just stand in line here, and wait your turn, and we'll process uh, your request soon, right? And it's also like when you go to the Department of Motor Vehicles, they make you take a number, and so many places they make you take a number, and it's kind of like dehumanizing. You feel like you're not significant. So, uh, and let's think about this. Like, let's say we have this thing of naming our children, and we choose a name, and we're careful about the name that we choose, and we look it up and the meaning, and we take special care, um, to choose a name that has some meaning to the mother and the father, or whatever. It might be naming them after their grandparents or whatever. But let's imagine if you named your children nine, and you know seven. So, seven, come here. Seven, let me see your homework. Okay, seven, wait for an hour and we'll have dinner. Okay, I want to talk to two, three, four, and five. We're gonna go. We're gonna go. I'm gonna go to the store, and I'm gonna take two, three, seven, and nine. Let's imagine you had a lot of children. Let's imagine that your parents named you with a number. How's that gonna make you feel? You're gonna feel like not significant, right? And so anyway, I don't want my kids to feel like a number, because that makes you feel insignificant and not like a human. So we have this expression, feel like a number, or, like in the case of, let's say, these big companies, they'll fire somebody, and like, uh, they don't care about you. If you're a liability to them for whatever reason, they'll fire you and hire somebody else. And you're like, so let's say Bob gets fired, and Bob has known Jerry for many years, and Bob says, Jerry, what is this? What is this? Um, we've known each other for years. Bob, Bob gets fired, and Jerry doesn't, the company doesn't care anything about Bob, right? Bob is history the next day. Bob who? Bob who? We don't know Bob, right? And so later, Bob talks to Jerry, right? And Bob says, I can't believe that. And then Jerry says to Bob, yeah, I'm sorry about that, but you're just a number to them, right? You're just a number, right? And that we use that expression a lot. You're just a number. Uh, let's say if you try to get some kind of benefit from the government, right? Some kind of social security benefit, and it's taking forever, and you need that money, and it's just still taking months and months to get your benefits. And so two guys are talking, and one guy says, "Yeah, I'm about to starve to death. I don't have any money, and the government doesn't seem to care." And the other guy says, "Yeah, you're just a number to them. You're just a number. Okay, so uh, you take important people like actors, like company presidents and politicians. They automatically don't feel like a number. But if you're just a working class people, you can feel kind of like a number. And there's a song called "Feel Like a Number." Okay, I recommend you listen to it. I'm not going to play it. It's called "Feel Like a Number," and it's this guy uh, talking about being a working class man. That the corporations. So, like in the old days, people lived in small towns and everybody knew everybody, and uh, you know, nobody felt like a number, right? Because everybody had this history and people knew each other's families. But now that the world has become really populated and people live in big cities, then people do feel like a number. Okay, I would say if you live in a smaller town, though, you're gonna feel less dehumanized than you would in a big city. So he says something like that sums up the complaints of the working class, right? Because we're the many in numbers. You're just a number, meaning, okay, a situation in which an individual feels that they're being treated just as a statistic or figure rather than a unique and valuable person, or basically they feel insignificant, not like a human, dehumanized, insignificant. You know, whereas your mother thinks of you as being special. Once you get out into society, sometimes people treat you like a number. Okay. Um, this is Jordan Peterson. I hate him, but he uses the expression that I need to use, so we'll listen.
Place. It's easy to feel like a number here, and that
Okay, so he's talking to his students. It's easy to feel like a number here because, these universities, they put like students in large groups, right? And so it's easy to feel like a number. Okay, here's another example. This lady's talking about the good points of this particular university.
Is that you really get the smaller school experience because you don't just feel like a number. You can actually interact with your professor.
Okay, so really commonly used. Okay, so if you need, there's many cases where you might need to use this. You're just a number to them. I feel like a number. Then it's useful to use it. It appears all the time in written and spoken English. Okay, so I will talk to you on the next idiom.